Kia ora, hello, I'm Paula Snowden. I have worked in the addictions and social marketing and behaviour change space for a long time. I used to run the Quit line in New Zealand. I'm now moving on to the Problem Gambling Foundation, another addiction space where society has legalised things that some people have a real problem with, and that harm is exponential across their family. So these things are legal. There's no point in talking about prohibition when they're already in the workspace. You've got to, how do we handle them? How do we keep people safe in the use of them? And how do we protect them? And as a leader of an addiction service, my job is to find ways to make the environment support change. One of the big challenges when you're working in the addictions and mental health area is that some of the reasons for people experiencing problems are because of poverty, alienation, colonisation, no hope, poor opportunity, early exposure to drugs. How do you use a social marketing and a self-help management regime when you've got an environment that is supporting so much negativity? And that is a real challenge. All you can say in that space is, if you don't try, then nobody's got anything. And you can try and you can evaluate, and if one thing doesn't work, then find something else, because you never know on the day you make the offer of help whether the person is ready and they'll pick it up. And we all know stories of people who've grown up in some terribly deprived environments with awful hardships and have gone on to do amazing things in their life, like raising a safe family. In my own family, I know of people who lived through real hardship and did not turn around and be violent to their children. It can happen. So we can't rule out help just because it's hard. And the thing is, know what the social determinants are and then help put offerings in front of people that they value. And it comes back to that principle of why can social change work in some places? Bring something. What's your core heart? What are you giving that person when you're asking them to make a change? Is it an online tool they can occupy themselves with instead of going and doing the thing that is the problem? But there's a lot of science behind that, and we need to understand it well. But think about what you're bringing to the table, because social determinants are just measurements. It's not a fatalistic thing to say that because a person grew up in that environment they can never change, because there are plenty of cases where it's not the truth, and our job is to get the offering in front of as many people as possible. Always for me about, can I make a difference in people's lives? And not as a practitioner. I'm not a practitioner, but my job is to help people do the best they can for the people we need. And mental health is a fantastic concept, because one of the issues and challenges we have in helping people is their resistance to what's being offered. There might be a fantastic thing there, people won't touch it. They don't trust the system, they don't trust us. The beauty with the online environment is it's got an anonymity to it. And that protects people. They can look at it and no one needs to know. They can try it out. If they fail, no one needs to know. It's private. And in this global world, privacy is fantastic. We can keep this private. No one needs to know you're struggling with something unless you choose to tell them. And I think that's a good way to start people off getting help. And Māori and Pacific in New Zealand, we talk about the digital divide. It's a data divide. It's not a device divide. We've got plenty of devices, plenty of opportunity, and I know from personal and professional experience, Māori and Pacific are online all the time, and the only reason they're not is when the plan runs out. It's top up week. So we use that tool and promote it, and that's the way to get to Māori and Pacific, because the system has never done well by Māori and Pacific, and they don't really like it and don't trust it. So I think this is the way to start people coming back in.